So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the best duo drop spots in this brand new chapter 3. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded, life has just been so busy, but you guys are definitely going to enjoy this video because I have the top 4 duo drop spots in this brand new season. Be sure to use code SonataYT if you guys do want to support me in the item shop, but let's hop into this video. So starting off, the first drop spot that I'm going to be going over is known as the Shrouded Settlement in Towaway Beach split. This is a split that's going to be on the lower right portion of the map. It's going to have 15 chests, it's going to have 4 coolers, and if you guys don't know, coolers can give you stuff like chug splashes, guzzle juice. It's also going to be having a safe for gold in case you guys want to trade with any NPCs around the area. It's going to have a car for rotation, tons of materials from the trees, the rocks, and the metal walls of the various buildings around the area, and it's actually near 2 major POIs, which are the Sanctuary and the Joneses. So if you guys want a W key, it's not going to be that hard. There's going to be 1 team contesting you max if you land here. This is the type of POI that you want to land at if you're trying to land somewhere low key where you're not going to be contested and you want a W key later on in the game. It's very easy to get really good rotation out of this area, especially because you can rotate over to the statue of the rock and then fly using that. That's a really good way if you guys want to try to land here. This is also a really good POI if you guys are interested in fishing because it's right along the coastline. Fishing is going to be really easy because you guys can just fish in the ocean and then get on your way using either a boat or a car. There's also quad crashers that spawn here, and quad crashers arguably are some of the most effective forms of rotation if you want to rotate somewhere quickly. I know flying isn't as powerful with them, but to be honest with you, quad crashers are still very powerful. So this is a very good POI if you guys want to land somewhere low-key that has a pretty decent amount of loot, and overall I would give it a pretty high rating. Now the next landing location is going to be something that actually returned from chapter 1, known as the Temple. In chapter 1, this used to be called Sunny Steps and it used to be a little bit bigger, but right now it's called the Temple and it's right next to the Daily Bugle. The Temple is going to be having 17 chests, it's going to have a couple of slurp barrels, a car nearby for rotation. You're going to be able to get materials from the walls of the temple, you're going to get brick from that, the trees around the area which you can get wood from, and metal from the Daily Bugle nearby. And obviously because it's near the Daily Bugle, there's a major POI for W keying. When you're landing here, there's probably going to be around 2 teams contesting you absolute maximum, but I wouldn't really be worried about being fully contested by 2 or more teams. Most of the time when you're landing here, you're probably going to be uncontested, and there's actually going to be some pretty permanent forms of rotation. For example, you guys can rotate with all of those new cobwebs that you have around the island. There's a couple of them in the area, and there's also some quad crashers nearby. However, a really good tip for this POI is to remain vigilant of the people that might have landed at the 7 outposts behind you. They might be rotating in from the edge of the map into you guys, so you should try to loot and farm a little bit quicker than usual. Overall, I would give this POI a pretty high rating alongside the first POI. Now the next POI is most likely where I would be landing if I'm going to be playing duos this season. This is arguably one of the most underrated splits in the entire game. This is known as the Ruins and Cuddle Cruisers split. Now this is going to be in the top right half of the map. It's very close to the Sanctuary, and it's part of those little island splits. Basically, this is going to be having 26 chests. It's going to have a lot of loot in a very small area. There's going to be slurp barrels, coolers, noms boxes, pretty much everything you can imagine. There's also going to be boats and cars for rotation. Fishing is a very good option here because it's very close to the ocean. It's also near the foundation statue, which can also be used for rotating. And you can get materials from the brick walls around the area, the trees, and the metal building. And like I said, it is near the Sanctuary, so W keying should be very simple if you guys want to try to get points in that fashion. However, when you're going to be landing here, there's most likely going to be 3 teams maximum, but that's pretty unlikely simply because this POI is kind of out of the way of the main map. Most teams are going to be landing in the center of the map, and realistically, when you're playing duos, you don't really need this much loot, which is why people won't really consider landing here. A lot of people are going to be landing a bit more low-key spots or a bit more high-key spots. For example, people are either going to be landing small, little splits or very big POIs. There's these kind of middle splits, which is what this is, and these are the splits that are going to be very uncontested at the start of the season. It's a very good POI, and there is actually a secret strategy that you could abuse. Because not that many people are going to be able to kill the foundation at the Sanctuary, they might not be able to kill him, but they will sometimes do damage to him, and you guys can rotate in and get the brand new mythic from the foundation. This is going to be the Mythic MK, and it's one of the most powerful weapons in the entire game. I would give this POI a very high rating, arguably as good as the #1 POI. Now this last POI is going to be known as Upper Sleepy Sound. Obviously Sleepy Sound is one of the biggest POIs in the game right now. It's kind of reminiscent of Craggy Cliffs and Sweaty Sands if they had a baby. Now Upper Sleepy Sound, including the lighthouse, is going to be having around 28 chests. There's going to be tons of noms boxes around the area. There's also obviously going to be cars for rotation. However, this POI is pretty central and it's not that hard to rotate out of. There's also fishing opportunities in the ocean nearby. There's mats from the trees, the bricks, and the metal areas of this POI. And it's very easy to W key because you're really close close to the other half of Sleepy Sound. This is overall a fantastic POI, and if you're going to be landing a named POI, I would recommend this place. All the other named POIs are not big enough and don't have enough loot for you guys, and most likely they're going to be pretty contested. This is obviously the less contested part, but I would still say that it's possible for there to be around 3, maybe 4 teams here. And if there are, you guys can always leave and go to the lighthouse split and then rotate into the Sleepy Sound area. However, if you land here, you definitely do need to know how to play it. And I would recommend that you guys land on the same building while you're playing duos and then loot the same building and get as many weapons as you can and then rush the enemy that is landing on you. That is arguably one of the most foolproof strategies that I can give you guys, and it's a very smart technique. So I am going to be showing you guys what is the best way to create a proper loot route, especially for duo drop spots. This is going to be a really big portion for when you guys are playing. So I'm going to be using this drop as an example because this is my favorite one from my video. So right here, this is going to be the ruin split and this is going to be the other part. And if I want to make a proper drop map, what I should really do is just click this and then go into shapes. In this circumstance, I'm going to actually draw circles. They're a bit better in terms of, actually creating the loot route. And I'm just going to click on this and then drag it to make the circle a little bit bigger. And then after that, I'm going to change the color to maybe blue or something that's more transparent. Then I'm going to click text, and then I'm going to enter my text, which is going to be Sonata, for my name, and then drag the text and place it right here. And then after that, what I'm going to do is take another circle, click on this little part, drag it over, change the color. And then after that, I'm going to change this to a transparent color, which kind of makes sense as well. And I'm going to click draw a text, enter my text, which is going to be, teammate, because I don't actually know if I have a teammate yet. And I'm going to click on this, and then I'm pretty much done with the drop map. What I can also do is I can also create a surge route. This is a really big part, especially if you guys are going to be playing very competitive and high level duo tournaments. I'm just going to click this just because it's in the relative middle of, the 2 spots right there. I'm going to click OK. After that, I can click draw path. And for a surge route, the best recommendation that I would give you guys is to honestly just make sure that you have a surge route for every possible zone. So you should make sure that you have a surge route for this type of zone, for this type of zone, and for this type of zone. And then even one center zone. So if it's this type of zone right here, I'm going to be taking the mouse pointer, going to some mountain that's roughly over here. Let's say, for example, this mountain, and drawing a direct line to make sure that if there is a storm circle which pulls over here, I'm going to be rotating to this mountain every time in order to box up and get surge. Another example is if there's a zone that's going to be right around here, I'm going to draw a little arrow, making around 2 dense this time because, it is a bit more of a, rough terrain to cross. I'll draw it to this foundation statue, and then after the foundation statue, I'm going to be going over to this mountain to base up for surge. That's just another example of a simple surge route. And then the final one is going to be a zone that pulls all the way over here. This is the toughest zone to rotate, but I'm going to click right here and then go over to this little, Coney Crossroads POI. And then maybe over to a mountain that's somewhere around here or somewhere around here. For now, just for convenience, we'll put it around here. And this is a pretty straightforward surge route. What I'll do then is I can click on this line. I'm pretty sure you can just click on it and then click change color. After that, I'm going to change it to maybe a lighter color. I'll click on this one as well. I'll change the color maybe here, to red. And then this final one, I guess I'll just keep it yellow because, it sets every other color up for success. And then after that, you can place a marker at each separate one of the ends of the surge route to make sure that you remember where it is. And then for the most part, you should be done with everything that you need to do in order to create a proper landing map and then also a surge route. But overall, guys, those are the 4 best POIs in Chapter 3 Season 1. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's been a long time since I've uploaded. I'm really sorry. Life has just been getting so busy. But be sure to stay tuned. I'm going to try to upload more and try to upload really good content as the seasons go forward. But I do thank you guys for sticking with me through this tough time. But that's about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.